4 years, Illinoisans have believed that African Americans were the primary users of illicit drugs, illegal drugs. But on January the 1st, today, Wednesday, January the 1st, 2020, Happy New Year, Illinois legalized recreational marijuana usage for home use only. It's nice out here in Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana area. The majority of the people who were buying cannabis-related products were all white. What? The majority of Illinoisans, according to various news agencies, anticipated that the crowds would be all African American. However, the crowds turned out to be predominantly white, in between their 20s and 60s, to purchase cannabis-related products, to purchase weed. Wow. And literally, the dispensaries were taking cash only, and obviously making a lot of money. You know, more power to people who would like to smoke marijuana. I am going to have to be one of those people because I have glaucoma. I have the glaucoma that's just a bit worse than the other glaucoma. I think there's 2 types, and I've got the worst type. And I have pressure at the back of my eye, back of my left eye here. I'm losing my vision. It's just going to happen. And I'm going to need to use medicinal marijuana. However, using recreational marijuana will often offset the challenges that I have to go through as a person with glaucoma. Now, I am not a person to take illegal or illicit drugs. You know, I'm not that bored with myself that I'm going to say what kind of drugs that I'm going to take today that are going to make me happy-ish for like 2 minutes or 20 minutes. I enjoy myself, my own company, my family, except my brother, and just kidding. Ish. And I want to make sure that I have access to these types of dispensaries that have good, clean marijuana. I just didn't think that they were going to be all white, not just white. Not that there's a problem with that. I'm just shocked that African Americans, that blacks, get such a bad rap for smoking marijuana, and they're not even buying it. Some people would say, well, maybe they're growing it. Yeah, like the rest of the people who are accusing the blacks of growing marijuana. No, whites are obviously growing it. There's not a problem with that. I'm just really shocked at the hypocrisy among so many Caucasian people who really rail black people about smoking marijuana when those same Caucasian people are the ones who are smoking it. As I live in Indiana, I live approximately 1 mile away from Chicago, and am kind of fortunate to be able to travel to dispensaries with ease. and to secure cannabis-related products. But cannabis, as of now, is, I believe, it's still illegal to use in Indiana. And I can be most certain that the majority of the cannabis users in Indiana are white and not black. What I find really strange is, what I find really hypocritical is that Illinois has not allowed enough African Americans to participate in the cannabis boom. Why is there a cannabis boom? I think that there is a cannabis boom not because lawmakers want to appease their voters just to smoke pot. The reason there is a bigger cannabis boom across America and across the globe, really, is that many cannabis users were able to stay off various chronic illnesses and fatal illnesses like cancer, like epilepsy, and a myriad of other diseases and illnesses. Today, there are 7 patents on cures for cancer made with cannabis. I'm completely aware of it. I made a video for the internet several years ago about my 10 top reasons for not using cannabis, and my number 1 reason was that I don't have cancer. I understand that people who need to use cannabis in all of its forms do so for medicinal purposes to begin with, and they make it at home. Who knew that cannabis would cure cancer? That alone has been the biggest impetus, the biggest push for the legalization of cannabis throughout America. It is believed by many historians, according to the textbooks that I've read in my university classes, that cannabis alone is the prime reason for Native Americans losing this great land of theirs, of ours. Get someone high, you kind of can do anything you want. I just want to understand why there is such a divide, a polarization between blacks and whites. It still appears that whites are Caucasians, particularly British American Caucasians, wanting to control the flow of a plant that can cure cancer and stave off other immune system illnesses other than they're wanting to control that particular industry for profit. It's really sad, especially when so many African Americans have been so generous with sharing marijuana, sharing cannabis. I'm happy that there is such a law for recreational usage in Illinois. However, the law is definitely limited to home usage only. Surely there has to be some type of place where people can go to smoke marijuana at their leisure in a public facility. The only problem with that is that those same people shouldn't be driving. If they are driving, they're probably going to go 5 miles an hour all the way home. But I hope that more people within the Cook County government of Illinois, where there is plenty of marijuana usage, that they come to the conclusion to include far more African Americans in this cannabis boom, so that they can also reap the benefits, reap the rewards of something that they have been criminalized for: the usage, the possession, the selling of marijuana, just to be far more equitable. If cannabis is ever legalized for recreational usage in Indiana, I think that there is going to be such a vicious control of the marketplace by British Americans. So I would invite anyone who's not British American, whether they are Caucasian or of any other sort, to create a business, perhaps in a legal area like Illinois, and then when the time is ripe, to come to Indiana and make their presence known among the British Americans who intend to continue to control the marketplace. What is the biggest offense to me is that, as I'm part Native American, Native Americans are not included in this boom. This advance in the adaptation of cannabis in a legal setting. Precisely because Native Americans were the first to use cannabis, because this was their land for thousands of years. Not a few hundred, not a few 400, for thousands of years. Some archaeologists would argue beyond 12,000 years, post the Ice Age. I live in an area called Calumet. It's a corruption of a Native American, or of an indigenous word that sounds like Calumet. The word has been anglicized to be spelled Calumet, and Calumet, I believe, is a French word that means peace pipe, and peace pipe is definitely a Native American term. It only seems fair that the peace pipe, which was passed around to make peace with other tribes and other bizarre visitors from Western Europe who brought slavery, death, and widespread death and destruction of Native American life, should be anywhere in this area, and still not have the Native Americans participate in the very, I don't want to say drug, the very plant that perhaps was the cause for them losing their lands. I hope that Illinois can figure out a way very fast, very quickly, to include far more African Americans in the sale, the distribution, the manufacturing, everything, the marketing of cannabis-related products. Since so many African Americans have been criminalized and institutionalized in prisons across Illinois just for the use, possession, sale, manufacturing of cannabis. Imagine that, going to prison for growing and using a plant that helps you calm down and not kill the white guys who are trying to tell you what to do. God bless the white guys. But I think that we're at a point in American history where we can understand that cannabis can be a unifying factor and not a divisive factor. I sincerely hope that for Illinoisans, for Hoosiers, and for everyone throughout America. And I think that anyone who is against the relaxation of criminalization is probably in need of some marijuana themselves to chill out and get the board out of their asses. Congratulations to Illinois on this January 1st. Happy New Year to all Illinoisans who get to use cannabis freely and in the open. And they're all, what? I can't believe it. I'll stop. They're all white drug addicts. Fabulous. Well, not anymore. It would have just been nice to see far more black people using or participating in the dispensary experience, since they were the ones who have been most, in this time, this day and age, since they were the ones who have been most criminalized for its usage. I think I only know one Mexican who uses cannabis. I don't even know any Asians that use cannabis. It appears that there seems to be a 50-50 distribution between men and women of cannabis usage in Illinois. I do not know how many people from out of state have purchased in Illinois yet. I imagine that many Indiana Hoosiers will go, many Indiana residents will go to Illinois to purchase those cannabinoids or cannabis-related products. I know I'm going to be one of them, unless my physician, my eye doctors, write me a prescription for medicinal cannabis. Right now I'm on drops to stave off the glaucoma and cataracts. Yeah, what can you do? Congratulations to Illinoisans on their surprise and their happy New Year time with medicinal and recreational cannabis. And to us Hoosiers, well, raspberries. What can you do? Thanks for watching.